Hello friends, welcome to Quick Learn tutorial series. In this video, I will explain you branch instruction of 8051 microcontroller. This is lecture number 17 of microcontroller series. So what do you mean by branch instructions? As we know, microcontroller execute the machine code in sequential manner. So branching instructions are basically used to change or alter the sequential flow of the instruction. Or we can say that if we want to execute another program that is called subroutine in between the main program, so we go for the branching instruction. So this is I written here. Microcontroller sequentially execute instruction, but in some cases transfer this control to another block of code become essential. So branching instruction are basically going to change the sequential flow of instruction. If we want to execute another program that is called subroutine in between the main program, so we go for the branching instruction. Now the type of branching instruction. There are basically three type of branching instruction. First is jump instruction, next is call instruction, and third is written instruction. Somewhere in the book or somewhere in other places, only two type of branch instruction are classified: jump and call. But there are basically three type of branch instruction, that is jump, call, and return instructions. So one by one I explain all the three type of branch instruction in detail. So first is jump instruction. Jump instructions are permanently change the content of program counter. What is program counter? Program counter is basically a 16-bit register that holds the address of the program memory from where the next instruction is to be fetched and executed. The program counter is started from 000H when 8051 microcontroller is initialized. So, jump instruction are permanently change the content of program counter, or program counter is loaded with the new address of memory location and execute that subroutine. And after the execution of that subroutine, it cannot come back in that particular main program again. So here with the help of diagram, I will explain you the jump instruction. As the name suggested, it is jumping somewhere else where the subroutine is stored. So jump instruction permanently change the content of program counter, or we can say that program counter is loaded with the new address of memory location where subroutine is stored, and microcontroller jump in new address of memory location where subroutine is stored, and microcontroller execute that subroutine and going on. It not come back in a particular main program again. Now next is call instruction. Call instructions are temporarily change the content of program counter. Whereas in case of jump instruction permanently change the content of program counter. So in case of call instructions, program counter is loaded with the new address of memory location temporarily where subroutine is stored, and execute the subroutine, and after the execution of subroutine it come back in that main program again. So this is the sequence of main program execution. In between the main program execution, if microcontroller want to perform some other tasks, so microcontroller call a subroutine. After calling subroutine, microcontroller execute that subroutine. Subroutines are basically the subprogram or short programs, and these subroutines are always ended with the return instruction. So when this return instruction come, the microcontroller execute this return instruction and come back in the main program execution again. So this is called call instruction. Now I explain jump instructions in detail. Jump instruction are basically the branch instruction. These type of instructions are going to change or alter the content of program counter permanently. Program counter is loaded with the new address of memory location, and it's depend upon the address whether it is 8-bit, whether it is 11-bit, or whether it is 16-bit. So we have different jump instruction, like it may be a short jump, long jump, absolute jump. So first I explain you the classification of jump instruction. There are two type of jump instruction: unconditional jump instruction and conditional jump instruction. So first is unconditional jump instructions. In case of unconditional jump instruction, the program counter is loaded unconditionally. Means it is not check any condition, just like any of the PSW flag register bit is set or not, just like carry flag bit is set or not. So we can say that in case of unconditional jump can change the content of program counter without checking any condition, or loaded program counter with new address. There are basically three type of unconditional jump. First is short jump, next is absolute jump, and third is long jump. These three type is depend upon the address, whether it is 8-bit, whether it is 11-bit, or whether it is 16-bit. So one by one I will explain all the jump in detail. First is short jump. This is the syntax of short jump, that is SJMP address. Address is also called the label. In case of short jump, the address is only 8-bit long. Now, what do you mean by short jump? So in case of short jump, program counter jump or cover only 256 byte of memory address. It can jump forward 127 byte from its current location, and it can jump backward 128 byte from its current location. So the total coverage area of short jump is 256 byte, which is very small. That is why it is called short jump. So here I write the range of destination allow is from -128 to +127 byte from the instruction, or we can say that program counter is jump in forward direction 0 to +127 byte, or in backward direction -1 to -128 byte. So the total is 256 byte. It is very short range. So that is why it is called short jump. Suppose if we want to load the content of program counter which is beyond this address, then we cannot go for the short jump. In that case, we use absolute jump. Now, in case of short jump, the length of the instruction is 2 byte. 1 byte for the opcode and 1 byte for the address. The total length of the instruction is 2 byte. Now second is absolute jump, and this is the syntax of absolute jump: AJMP address. As I have already told, this address is also known as label. In case of absolute jump, address is only 11-bit. So in case of absolute jump, the coverage area is 2 kilobyte, or program counter jump 2 kilobyte memory location. Why 2 kilobyte? Because 2 raised to the power 10 equal to 1k and 2 raised to the power 11 equal to 2k. This address bit is 11 bit. 2 raised to the power 11 equal to 2k. That is why program counter jump 2 kilobyte memory location. And the total length of the instruction is 2 byte. 1 byte for the opcode and 1 byte for the address. Third is long jump. Suppose if the new address which is loaded in the program counter is beyond 2 kilobyte, then we go for long jump. So here long jump, this is the syntax of long jump. LJMP address, address is also known as label. In case of long jump, address bit is only 16 bit. So it can cover up to 64 kilobyte, or we can say that program counter jump or cover 64 kilobyte of memory location. And we know that 8051 microcontroller having program memory 64 kilobyte. It means in case of long jump, the program counter cover the whole program memory of 8051 microcontroller. In this case, the length of the instruction is 3 byte because 1 byte for the opcode and address is 16 bit. 16 bit means 2 byte. So the total is 1 plus 2 equal to 3 byte. Length of the instruction is 3 byte. Now some other unconditional jump instructions are, first is NOP instruction. NOP. NOP means no operation perform. In this instruction, microcontroller cannot want to do anything. When this instruction is executed by microcontroller only wastes one machine cycle, and we know that one machine cycle equal to 12 clock pulse. Then microcontroller automatically move to the next instruction. Next is JMP at the rate A plus DPTR instruction. This is basically an indirect jump instruction. In this instruction, the content of accumulator register is added with the content of DPTR register. DPTR is basically a data pointer register. It is a 16-bit register. So, the result of addition is basically an address. So the program counter is loaded with that address and jump in that location. Next is JMP address. This is the example of short jump, and this is also called unconditional jump instruction. Next is conditional jump. In case of conditional jump, it is going to check some conditions. If these conditions are satisfied or true, then the program counter is loaded with new address. And all the conditional jumps are short jump. It means either they can jump forward 127 byte or backward 128 byte from its relative position of program counter. Now here some conditional jump instructions are, first is JC address. Address is also known as label. This instruction tell program counter is jump if carry bit in PSW flag register is set. It means if the carry bit of PSW flag register is 1, the program counter is jump into the new memory location or program counter is loaded with new address of memory location. And when carry flag bit is set after some arithmetic operation, or if we rotate the content of accumulator, then the carry bit of PSW flag register is set, and then program counter is jump in new location or loaded with new address. Now the total length of this instruction is 2 byte, or we can say that it is a 2 byte instruction, 1 byte for the opcode and 1 byte for the address. Next instruction is JNC address. JNC stands for jump if carry flag is not set. It means program counter jump when carry flag is not set. It means carry is clear. This instruction are used immediately after the arithmetic instruction. When the carry flag bit is 0, then program counter is loaded with the new address and jump in new location. Third is JBB, address. This instruction tells that jump if bit is set. In this instruction, it is checking the status of the bit specified in the internal RAM. If bit is set, it means this bit is 1, then program counter is loaded with new address and jump into the new location. If bit is not set, it means B equal to 0, then program counter is not loaded with new address. It continuously executes the very next instruction. And the total length of this instruction is 3 byte. 1 byte for the opcode, 1 byte for the bit, and 1 byte for this label or address. So the total length of the instruction is 3 byte. Next is JNB, address. This instruction tells that jump if bit is not set. This B is not set. It means if this bit is 0, then program counter is jump into the new location and loaded with new address. Otherwise, program counter is not loaded with new address. It continuously executes the very next instruction. This is also 3 byte instruction, 1 byte for the opcode, 1 byte for B and 1 byte for address. Next instruction is JBCB comma address. This instruction tells that jump to the branch address if bit is set. It means this B is equal to 1. And before it jumping to the new address, this bit will be clear. This is also a 3 byte instruction. 1 byte for the opcode, 1 byte for this bit and 1 byte for the address. So the total is 3 byte. Next, few jump instruction which work only on the content of accumulator. First is JZ address. JZ indicate jump if 0. It means this instruction check the content of accumulator. If the content of accumulator is 0, then program counter is jump into the new address or new memory location. Next is JNZ address. This instruction tells that jump if not 0. It means it is checking the content of accumulator, and if content of accumulator is not 0, A is not equal to 0, then the program counter is jump into the new memory location and loaded with the new address. Otherwise, it continue the normal operation. These two instruction JZ and JNZ instruction work on byte. It means it is a byte branching instruction. It checks the content of 8-bit register, that is accumulator register. Whereas the previously studied instruction, that is JC instruction, JNC instruction, JB instruction are bit branching instruction because they check the bit. Now third is DJNZ RN comma address. This instruction tells that decrement and jump if non-zero. These instructions are not going to work on the content of accumulator. They are going to work on the register mentioned here, that is the RN register. RN register is basically the R1 to R7 register of a selected register bank. So this instruction is work on the content of this register which is given here. So first we decrement the content of the RN register. If the content of RN register is not equal to 0, then the program counter is loaded with this new address and jump into the particular memory location. Otherwise, it continuously operates the normal operation. Next is DJNZ address comma label. Here we use label because here also address is given. If I write address, you may be confused. That is why I write label here. This instruction tells that decrement and jump if non-zero. It means the content of this memory location get decremented by 1, and after decremented, it check the content of this address. If the content of this address is non-zero, so the program counter is loaded with the new address and jump into the new memory location. Now, some other conditional branch instructions are CJNE instruction. This is a byte instruction and CJNE stands for compare and jump if non-equal to 0. Now, first instruction of this category is CJNE A, hash data, address. In this instruction, address is also known as label. Hash data represent immediate data and A is the accumulator. This instruction tells that compare and jump if non-equal to 0. This instruction affects the carry flag. In this instruction, first we compare the value of accumulator, content of accumulator and immediate data. If this value is not equal to 0, then program counter is loaded with the new address and jump into the new memory location. So here I write, in this instruction carry flag is affected and we compare the value of accumulator and immediate data, these two. And if this value is not equal to 0, the program counter is loaded with new address. After comparing accumulator content and immediate data. If accumulator is greater than immediate data, carry flag is 0. If accumulator is smaller than immediate data, then carry flag is 1. So in this instruction, carry flag is affected, and if these two value is not equals to 0, then program counter is loaded with the new address and jump into the new memory location. Now second instruction of this category is CJNE A comma address comma label. Here we write address also, but address is also known as label. I write label. This is the address of the memory location and A is the accumulator register. This instruction tells that compare and jump if non-equal to 0. So here we compare the content of accumulator with the content of this memory location. If these two content is not equal to 0, then program counter is loaded with this new address and jump into that new memory location. This instruction also affects the carry flag. Next instruction is CJNE RN comma hash data comma label. Here label is also known as address of the new memory location. Hash data is the immediate data and RN is a particular register of a register bank. R0 to R7 of a particular register bank. So this instruction tells that compare and jump if not equal to 0. So here we compare the content of RN register and this immediate data. If these two data value is not equals to 0, then program counter is loaded with the new address. This instruction also affects the carry flag bit of PSW flag register. Next instruction of this category is CJNE comma hash data comma label. Hash data is the immediate data. RI is the R0 and R1 register. So in this instruction we compare the value of RI register and immediate data. If this two value is not equals to 0, then program counter is loaded with the new address. So here I write if RI is greater than immediate data. So carry flag is 0 and program counter is loaded with new address and jump into the new memory location. And if RI is smaller than immediate data, then carry flag is 1. So in this instruction also carry flag is affected. Now next is call instruction. Call instructions are different from jump instruction. In case of call instruction are temporarily change the content of program counter, whereas jump instruction permanently change the content of program counter. So in case of call instruction temporarily change the content of program counter, or program counter is loaded with the new address of memory location temporarily and execute the subroutine, and after execution the subroutine it come back in the main program again. Again I am repeating, call instruction are different from jump instruction. So in case of call instructions are temporarily change the content of program counter, or program counter is loaded with the new address of memory location temporarily and execute the subroutine, and after execution of subroutine it come back in the main program again. Now what do you mean by subroutine? Subroutine are basically the set of subprogram or the short program. They are always ended with return instruction. Subroutine is executed if only the main program call it. So here I explain with the help of example the whole call instruction. This is the main program, this is subroutine 1 and this is subroutine 2. As I have already told, what do you mean by subroutine? Subroutine is a set of subprogram or helping program or short program. They are always ended with return instruction, RET instructions. Subroutine is called by the main program. What is main program? Suppose if I want to arrange the number in ascending order. So the main task is to arrange the number in ascending order. So for arranging the numbers in ascending order, we use a set of instruction that is called main program. But in between the main program, if we want to search smallest number also, so this task we perform with the help of subroutine. So the main program call the subroutine to find or search the smallest number. And if we also want to remove the smallest number after saving, so this subroutine call another subroutine program. So here the two subroutine subtask is performed. First task is to search the smallest number and second task is removing the number after saving. So the function of main program is to arrange the number in ascending order, and in between the arranging of number in ascending order, microcontroller want to search the smallest number also. So to find the smallest number, main program call a subroutine and program counter is loaded with the new address of subroutine. Subroutine is executed by microcontroller, and when return instruction is executed by microcontroller, then microcontroller come back again to the main program. If this subroutine perform other tasks, just like after searching the smallest number, microcontroller want that to remove that smallest number after saving. So this subroutine called the subroutine second. This is called nested subroutine. Now the 8051 provide two form of the call instruction. First is absolute call and second is long call. So first I explain absolute call. In case of absolute call, this is the syntax of absolute call. A call address. Address also known as label. In case of absolute call having 11-bit address. This instruction unconditionally calls a subroutine indicated by the address. The length of the instruction is 2 byte because the address is 11 bit and the remaining 5 bit of opcode. So total is 2 byte instruction. Next is L call. It means long call instruction. This is the syntax of long call instruction. L call address. In case of long call, address having 16 bit. So in case of long call, the subroutine may therefore being anywhere in the full program memory of 8051 microcontroller, that is 64 kilobyte. This instruction is 3 byte long because 2 byte of address and 1 byte of opcode. So the total is 3 byte. So the length of the instruction is 3 byte. Next is return instruction. Return instruction 8051 microcontroller provide two return instruction, that is RET instruction and RETI instruction. First is RET instruction. This stands for return from subroutine instruction. As I have already told, the subroutine is always ended with return instruction. So RET instruction is used for end instruction for subroutine. This instruction tells that the program counter pop the return instruction from the stack and continue execution there. Next is RETI instruction. This instruction stands for return from interrupt service routine. What do you mean by interrupt service routine? When interrupt occur in 8051 microcontroller, so microcontroller jump to the new location where interrupt service routine is written, which is predefined, and the interrupt service routine is ended with RETI instruction. So we can say that interrupt service routine is not a simple subroutine. This is a specific subroutine which is executed when microcontroller get interrupted. So in this case, program counter is used to pop the return address from the stack. So these are the interrupt instruction of 8051 microcontroller. So hope you like the video. For more interesting video, please keep watching my video and keep sharing my video.